This right here is my super awesome gaming PC, paired with a Ryzen 9 5950X and a RX 6950 XT. And this is amazing, but if you want to know how it got there, be sure to stay tuned for the whole thing. August 2025. Things were quite chill as I was mainly using macOS, but I was starting to look into certain PC games like VRChat, and all I had at the time was an old HP laptop. This has a 7th gen dual-core i5 and integrated graphics, and it played those said games very poorly, so I knew I needed to get something better. So towards the end of the month, I bought myself an HP Prebuilt Tower PC, and this would sort of be the start to where we are now. This PC features an AMD Ryzen 7 5700G with Radeon GPU graphics. And it was nice to have something quite nice on the Windows side. However, I was still missing one good thing, a graphics card. And well, I made it my mission to put it inside of my pre-built. In September, besides upgrading the single stick of 16GB DDR4 RAM, bye-bye, to a 2x16 pair, I eventually found a 8GB RTX 4060 Ti 2-fan graphics card, and this seemed like it could do the trick. Haha, if you thought it was going to work right away, yeah, no. Even though I replaced the generic 180 watt power supply with a 500 watt one, it still wouldn't be powerful enough to safely power the whole PC. And it worked like a charm, besides my desk setup being a little messy. But I was very surprised by the performance. This was my first graphics card, so it was awesome. I quickly found out some limitations like the 8GB of VRAM, so I knew I was going to need something better in the future. That's when I got the most insane idea. Why didn't I just build a gaming PC? Now, this is where things started to change for the better. In November, I eventually started looking into all the components that I would need for a gaming PC, and I'm glad I decided to base it off of AM4 hardware, especially since DDR5 is a mess. Once I got a good motherboard, I took my CPU out of my pre-built and moved the RAM to the board. I later got the case, power supply, 360mm AIO, and case fans to start the build. During the build, it took me an hour to figure out the AIO, so that was fine. Eventually, after slotting in the GPU, I finished the other wiring before moving to the case fans, and finally, the power supply to finish the build. Once I confirmed that everything worked, I quickly installed Windows 11 Pro and began to download my usual games. And real quickly, here are the current specs, and their approximate current prices. I'm glad I got DDR4 RAM before the shortage because I got 32 gigs for 75 bucks. Now, I really had a gaming PC, and it was quite epic, and I made sure that the cooling was done very well. And then in January, now that I had it for a while, I was thinking that I can get much more out of this build. So I looked into the AMD Ryzen 9 5950X, which I did have to order from China. It luckily only took 2 weeks instead of 3. Jumping to 16 cores alone was enough to save a little bit of struggle, but now my 4060 Ti was the bottleneck. But not for long though, since I already ordered my replacement graphics card. Eventually, my new graphics card arrived, and man, this thing is a beauty. Plus, I jumped from 8GB to 16GB, which makes a whole world of difference in certain scenarios. That pretty much finishes the upgrades for this PC, and so of course, once I removed the 4060 Ti and replaced the drivers for the new ones, it was time to test it. Now, I had a PC that can game on pretty much anything, and it struggles way less than my old card, which is a plus. But this card also has a fun surprise. This card just so happens to have a USB-C port, which acts either as Thunderbolt or a Directlink to a VR headset, because maybe I'll have one in the future. So that means less latency as opposed to using the USB-C port on the back of your motherboard or USB-C port on your case. The temps are not too bad either. The CPU does get a bit warm into the low mid-60s, and the GPU with a custom fan curve has barely hit 50 degrees. Safe to say, this PC is everything I need it to be, and it can easily last a few years. Sure, I could have went AM5, but when I saw the RAM prices, I wanted to stay the flip away from that. I wouldn't want to have to struggle if I ran into RAM failure or something, so now that I have mine upgraded, I'm gonna make it worth its while. I'm honestly glad I went 1050 watts on my power supply so I can instantly slot my graphics card, which is why you never want to cheap out on your power supply, or anything in general, lol, to ensure it can handle the more power-hungry components. And so, that wraps up this video. Thank you guys for watching, stay tuned for more videos, and I'll catch you guys in the future. Bye bye!